Welcome back. So 2 simple letters, 1 small word, but our next guest says it can pack a mighty punch.
So here to chat with us about effective and empowering ways to say no in the workplace is leadership expert Kendra Reddy. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, Kendra, I feel like most of us have gone through the experience of having to say no to something. Why do we fear it so much?
Yeah, it does pack a big punch, and we're scared because biologically we're hardwired to fear rejection, criticism, and judgment from others. And then when you take it into the workplace, there's like a hyper focus on teamwork and positivity. So if we say no, it kind of feels like, am I signing my own pink slip here? No isn't the villain. It's an expression of your priorities, your energy, your time, and your values.
Okay, that sounds good. So you actually say that a really great way to make work a less important aspect of our lives is by saying no in the workplace. Can you explain that a little bit further?
I find that work takes up a huge amount of space in our lives. It tends to be at the center of everything. But then also that space is really filled with urgency, stress, and a lot of overgiving. And so sometimes I think, well, who profits from that? Yeah. Decentering work doesn't mean not working at all. It means just believing that your purpose doesn't have to come from your paycheck. So some small ways that you can do that at work is start saying no to like special committees, task forces, anything that's going to consume more of your attention with work.
Okay, got it. So how do we say no without crossing boundaries and then still being seen as a team player?
Yeah, it's important. It is a fine balance. What you don't want to do is like, no, and then head for the hills, right? Calmly. Listen, I'm not saying no to be a jerk. I just don't want to say yes and then not deliver, right?
Ooh,
so
good line.
It's
good
calm.
line.
It's a calm response to that.
Yeah. Okay. So how do we know when it's okay to say no to a task or a project?
I think, again, there's this tendency to just immediately be obedient and say yes. Every company, even the best ones, are going to take everything they can get from you and still want more. So our job is to check in with ourselves before we just respond out of autopilot or just, blind ambition. One of my favorite sayings is, hey, wow, that sounds really important. I need to take a second before I respond.
The pause.
That's not rejection, it's respect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, good point.
There's so much to weigh up. The ask may sound so small, but you have to think, is this a one-time ask or is it a whole new responsibility for my job? Is it gonna overwhelm me? Is it gonna grow me? Am I being asked because I'm the best person or just because no one else wants to do this? Is it really that urgent? Do I even want to? Am I excited about this? It's fair and professional for you to be able to ask those questions to your manager because you need to know what the trade-offs and the payoffs are before you commit.
These are great tips, Kendra.
Thank
so
you.
we want to put them into use. So we're going to run through a couple of scenarios so we can learn how to navigate sticky situations at work in the most effective way possible, starting with this picture, okay? I've been asked to stay late for a project that isn't mine, and I've made plans after work. So how would you approach saying no in that scenario?
Ooh. I have a commitment that can't be changed on short notice.
Oh,
hey.
I like that a lot.
Yes.
Okay, here's the next scenario. My coworker has been taking a lot of time off. She and I work very closely together, and I am finding that I'm having to pick up a lot of slack. How can I approach saying no to constantly covering for her? Ooh, this is tricky.
It's a bit dicey. If you're friends with her first, I'd say maybe have a conversation with her, but to management, I would say, hey, listen, I notice I'm being asked to cover for so-and-so a lot. That's not sustainable long-term, so I'm curious, what's the plan? Good one.
I love it.
That's so good.
Okay, so here's another scenario. My boss wants to meet with me to acknowledge my hard work and offers me more responsibilities with a title change, but no raise.
Of course.
So how can I say no? This actually happened to me once a number of years ago. How would you say no to this offer?
I would say, wow, thank you, I deserve that. And I have some questions and concerns. Let's talk.
Okay.
You know what I want to know? Will you pay me back retroactively? Will you make me whole? By when? And will you put that in writing?
Yes.
Put it in writing.
Pay me back retroactively.
Oh my God. She's like, that's hilarious, but that's also the truth. It's the truth. Okay, next one. I've been working from home since the pandemic, but now I'm being asked to come back to the office. I feel strongly that my work can be done from home. Oh my God, this is like a lot of people's
Everyone
scenario
right
right
now.
now. How would you approach this discussion?
I have two, semi-spicy, really spicy. You know, my current setup at home really lets me perform at my highest level, and I'd love to continue things how they are.
Okay.
Spicier?
Spicier.
You know, I do value the team and I do value the office environment, but at this point, I'm not open to returning.
Wow. Okay. I've been invited out after work with a few of my coworkers, but this is me. I just want to go home and lay on my couch. How can I approach my no without ruffling any feathers or damaging my relationships with my coworkers?
I'm a no for tonight, but have a blast and I'll be there next time.
Except that I won't.
Okay, I requested 2 consecutive weeks off work and I'm being told I'm only allowed to take 1. So how would you say no, I guess because I want the 2 weeks?
This is why I quit my job, by the way. That's not gonna work for me. My vacation is part of my compensation package, but I am willing to help you figure out a plan to make sure there's coverage for while I'm gone.
Okay.
Such empowered ideas. Calm, steady,
direct,
to the point, empowering.
And
Yes.
empowering.
Yeah.
Kendra, I think a lot of people are going to PVR this segment and then write it all down. This is so empowering. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Great
for having
advice.
me.
Okay. Rewind. We know you will be. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.